Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Bree. Yeah, let me stop. Let me be normal. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Bree. Thank you so much for tuning in to another one of my episode recaps. And as always, I'm here to discuss Ready to Love Season 9, Episode 7, titled Meet the Friends. All right, y'all, let's get into it. So we start this episode off with the men meeting up with Tommy at the lounge because, they're about to, I guess, get their assignment for the week. And so now we're down to 6 men because, as you guys all know, last week, 2 men had to leave the process. So I was like, dag, now we're down to 6 men. It seems like, I don't know, this season kind of seems like it's going by pretty fast. And I ain't feeling it, but whatever, because I am enjoying this season. But anyway, let me stop talking. So anyway, well, I'm going to keep talking, but let me stop running my mouth. So anyway, this was crazy. So LaRon starts talking, right? So we find out from LaRon that Alexis had screenshotted conversations from a group chat that Koshia and Mika were in. And the reason why that whole situation with Will started was because Alexis sent Will the screenshots, I guess, of what they were saying about Will. And so he's basically saying that's how this whole thing started. And LaRon also says that he has the text messages to prove that Alexis screenshotted these things and sent it to Will. So I'm trying to think, guys, why LaRon talked about it. I think Tommy... I'm trying to think. Oh, no. I'm sorry. With that episode, it started off as like Will saying like, oh, Will is gone. And so we got one person out and now we just got to get the other bad person out. And so that's why he brought up that whole thing, because he's talking about how basically they need to get Alexis out of the process. So anyway, so Tommy lets them know that this week they have to eliminate one of the ladies, but first they have to introduce their connections to their best friends. So I'm like, oh, we introducing the best friends already? That's what I'm saying, y'all. I'm like, I know we're only on, episode 7? It just seems like this season has just flown by way too fast. And I know we're, heading into March, but I don't know. I just think it's going by so fast. I'm like, oh, we're meeting the friends already. But anyway. So anyway, Tommy lets them know, introduce your girl to your best friends and let your best friends talk to you about who's right for you or who's wrong for you. So basically, that is their assignment for this week. So in a new scene, we see William along with his friends, Troy and Rashandra. They all meet up at a restaurant so that they can meet William's connection, which we find out is Maya. So Maya arrives and she's introduced to his friends. So Maya lets them know, what she does for a career. And so one of his friends, Rashonda, she says that, well, William is a comedian and, how's that going to fit into your life? How will you support that? And I think she's saying that because maybe he's on the road a lot with his career. So I think she just wants to know, like, how will you incorporate, that lifestyle into yours, basically. So Maya just kind of responds and just says that, overall, she's going to support him. So his friend asked her, has she ever been in a long distance relationship? And so Maya says no. So I think, Rashonda informs her that William is also in the military reserves and, sometimes he has to be away for a while. And so Maya says, well, me and him never talked about that, but basically I'm open to a long distance relationship. So, we'll see about that, but I was just like, interesting. So next, we see Justin at his friend's house named Kendrick, and we learn he's going to introduce him to his connections, which are Mika and Rashina. So Rashina arrives first, and then Mika. And so Kendrick asked both of the ladies, was it... y'all, why can't I talk today? Anyway, Kendrick asked the ladies, what is it about my boy, Justin, do you like? So Mika says that they had good conversation and, he's cool with opening up and being vulnerable. And so Rashina basically agrees and she's like, yeah, I like vulnerability. So then the scene jumps back to William and Maya. And I hate when they do that flip-flopping thing. It's kind of like, when I take my notes, it's kind of frustrating doing that. But anyway, side note. So back to William and Maya, right? So William's friend Troy asks Maya, are you looking for that long-term? Basically, are you looking for a long-term relationship? So she says yes, because she's looking to settle down and have kids. So Maya lets them know she wants 2 kids. And, William already has 3 sons from previous marriages. So basically, altogether, they would have, it would be a family of 7. So then the scene switches back to Justin, Rashina, and Mika. And so Kendrick asks, when you don't feel like being communicated with, and then Justin says, well, when that happens, I just put do not disturb on. And then Mika says, well, if you do that, I hit notify anyway. So they start laughing about that. Then back to William and Maya. So, Maya, says she had a great time with them and, unfortunately she had to go. So she ends up leaving. So, of course, William's trying to get their opinion of her. And so Rashonda says that she can definitely see the chemistry between them and she can appreciate that. And she says she does love that Maya is family oriented. But her only concern is Maya wants 2 kids. And it's like, homeboy, you already got 3. So then that's 5 kids plus the parents. That's 2. That's a family of 7. And she asked him, she's like, do you even really want more kids? And so when she says that, William is just making this face like, I don't know. He was like thinking about it. And basically Rashawn is like, well, I just wish you the best. And my thing is this, William, because now I'm starting to be like, okay, do you even want more kids? You already have 3. And I'm like, I'm tired of these people switching up a major life decision like that, children, something that you should never compromise on with anybody.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Now, he's the 3rd one. Mika, Dom, and William. They're sitting here being with people that want opposite things. Meaning, Dom wants a whole bunch of kids. Mika doesn't want kids. But now she's talking about, oh, well, I'd be willing and open if I found the right guy. No, you don't. Stand on it. You don't want no more kids.
I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you know. I know you know.
Don't try to downplay it because you're trying to, be with this person or get his attention more. Or maybe because you just want to stay on the show. Like, no. And the same with Dom. Why would you be dating somebody who don't want kids? Like, y'all already heard my rant in the last video, so I'm not even going to go there. But now I'm looking at William, and it's like, William, I don't think you even want more kids. And now you're kind of settling because you want this person. But, child, I don't know. I'm not in their hearts, so I can't really say. But I'm going to just mind my own business. But anyway... So back to Justin, y'all. So his friend Kendrick asked, where do you think Justin fares in this? So Rashina says, well, he fares because of his looks. He's handsome. And when she first saw him, he had the strongest look for her. So they're all laughing about that. And basically, they're just having good conversation. And then they both have to leave. So, of course, Justin wants Kendrick's opinion on the ladies he brought over. So Kendrick says that Rashina was really honest and seems pretty committed. However, Mika is a little more guarded and it may take a tougher wall to climb. So at this point, Justin is confused and he's like, I just don't know what to do. And he says that in his confessional. So in a new scene, we see Chaz is at home and we learn that he's invited Vanessa and Alexis to meet his 2 friends that he brought over. So basically his friends arrive first and then Alexis arrives shortly after. So he introduces Alexis to his friends and one of his friends asks Alexis, he's like, is there anything that kind of sticks out that you're not necessarily too sure when it comes to Chaz? So she replies saying that, well, kind of what sticks out to me is our 15-year age gap, but he is the best looking age guy I've ever seen. So they all start laughing. So that was kind of funny. So next, in a new scene, we see Alonzo at a restaurant with his friend India. And so we learn that he's going to introduce her to Patrice. So Patrice arrives and she's introduced to India. And India asks her, she says, I want to know, how do you feel about him and how have things been? So Patrice says, things have been amazing. And then Rashina arrives to the restaurant and we learn that, okay, pause, y'all. So I was kind of shocked that Rashina was coming to this date because I had no clue that Alonzo and Rashina had any type of connection. So basically, we learned in the episode that the reason why she came to the restaurant is because y'all remember the pajama jam party? Well, during that party, she and him got close and they were like vibing with each other. So, and it showed like a flashback scene of them like dancing with each other. So I was like, oh, okay. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Some of the scenes have been cut out and I know it's a show, you got to edit it. But that's why I be confused sometimes, like, okay, how did this connection grow? Because we didn't see it in prior episodes. So I'm glad that they showed the flashback scene because I was like, oh, that's interesting. Anyway, y'all, so Rashina arrives and basically India's talking to her and says, I'm sorry. And so Rashina asks Alonzo, she's like, are you ever going to be serious? And then India says he keeps that serious side to him because that Alonzo likes to joke around and be lighthearted. So he doesn't want to get too deep. Then the scene jumps back over to Chaz and Vanessa and she arrives. And so his friend asks Vanessa, how is she outside of this whole ready to love process? So Vanessa says that, I'm a pretty peaceful person and I try to protect that as best as I can. And so Alexis responds, she says, well, I'm a big personality and what you see is what you get. So when Alexis said that, Chaz's friends was looking at her like, okay. Because I don't know, it was nothing wrong with what Alexis said. It's just kind of how she said it. Because she was just like, what you see is what you get. And basically, like, I don't play with nobody and what you see is what you get. Like, I don't sugarcoat it for no one.
Absolutely not. Not me. Certainly not I.
So I think that's why they were kind of like, okay. So anyway, y'all. So then the scene jumps back over to Alonzo and India asks Patrice, does she have any kids? And so Patrice lets her know that she has 3 kids. And India says, well, Alonzo doesn't have any. I mean, do you want to start over? Do you want more kids? And so Patrice says, I don't mind. And I do want to be married again. So Rashina takes the time out. I guess she was like, child, let me just spill my tea real quick before you start asking me stuff. So Rashina lets India know that she was once married before and she does have 2 boys and she would like to marry again. So I think India had asked her. Yes, she did. She asked her, well, do you want more kids? And so Rashina says that she would prefer not to have any more kids, but she is willing to start all over for the right one. So then back to Chaz. One of his friends asked Vanessa, what's your outlook on marriage? So she says, well, I've been married and divorced. And when you put that title on it, you're both just working for the marriage and not creating the actual relationship part of that. So then Alexis responds saying, well, I'm really big on marriage and wanting to be married. And wanting to be in it before children. So then Vanessa asks his friend, is Chaz good with kids? And so he says he is, and he has a calm spirit. So y'all, this is just back and forth. It needs to stop. So the scene jumps back on over to Alonso. And India says that, Alonso is a fun guy, but whenever he gets to a point where he feels like he wants to step it up, you'll start noticing more romantic things from him. So the women are like, okay, that's good to hear. And in Rasheena's confessional, she says that she doesn't have a romantic connection with Alonso like that. And I think she probably went on the date just to see like if it could be there, just because, they kind of had a cool time with each other at the pajama party. But basically, maybe the date taught her like, yeah, it's like nothing there. So basically, their date ends and Patrice and Rasheena leave. And so India says that she would lean more towards Patrice for Alonso because Patrice just seems to be happy being around him. And, it seems like Patrice wants a little bit more from Alonso, more so than Rasheena. So anyway, back to Chaz. The ladies leave and his friends say that, both of the women are just in like different stages in their life, but they could see him more with Vanessa. So his other friend says that a red flag with Vanessa, though, is that she's not ready to put the marriage label on it. And so Chaz is, sitting on the couch thinking, and he's just like, yeah, because, I'm ready to get married. And I'm not waiting a year or two to be married to somebody. And if the woman is not in that headspace, like, I'm just not going to deal with her. And so, in my opinion, I don't think Chaz is ready for no marriage. I already said what I had to say about him, so I ain't going to go there. Anyway, in a new scene, we see William go over to his friend's house again. That the same friends that met up with Maya. So he's going to Troy and Rashonda's house. And for a minute there, I didn't know this because Rashonda and Troy, they're a married couple. So anyway, William's going there because he has 2 other connections and he wants them to meet them. So we see Alexis arrive first, and then we see Patrice arrive soon after. And so Patrice arrives with flowers because she says, when you come to a married couple's home, you always bring flowers for their wife.
And that's just how it felt. Really?
She's explaining it to you.
Yeah, I'm just saying really.
So she did, y'all, and Rashonda was so happy. And Patrice was like, yep, I got brownie points. Like, yeah. So that happens. Then a new scene jumps over to Dom meeting up with his friend Mike at a restaurant. And we learn that they're going to meet Vanessa. So I'm like, hold up. Like, this is what I'm talking about. If y'all going to show us these dates, you need to show us prior dates that they had where they were connecting. Because I'm trying to figure out, well, where did Dom and Vanessa come from? Because I don't even remember them in previous episodes talking like that. So it definitely must have happened where we didn't see it on TV. So I need them to do better in this arena, because when you just randomly put people together and we don't know that there was a backstory to it, it just comes off weird. I don't know. That's just me. So anyway, Vanessa gets there and I think his friend was like, basically, what made you and Dom kind of hit it off? So Vanessa says that they had good conversations since the first time that they've met, and what's understood doesn't need to be explained. Child, when she said that, I was like, oh, Vanessa likes Dom. And I'm still trying to figure out, where did this connection come from? I didn't know that y'all was talking like that when you first met. So, you could just tell, like, in that date, Vanessa was just so happy to be with Dom. She was flirting with him. She's like basically telling him, you need to make a move on me and get on this. And, Dom is being kind of shy. And her date compared to Chaz is a little bit different. Like, she likes Chaz, you can tell, but it was different with Dom. I feel like Dom really does something to her. I don't know with their conversations, if, he touches a part of her that other guys can't, where he's like deep with her and he really is getting to know her soul, know her mind, all of that. And that's the vibe I was getting, especially the way she was looking at him and basically telling him, you better come on and make a move, just y'all. I was shocked. It was so cute to see, but I was like, this is so interesting because I had no idea. And y'all tell me in the comments, like, did I miss something? Because I'm trying to figure out, where did Vanessa and Dom come from? I'm really trying to figure this out. But anyway, so she has her conversation with his friend and she leaves. So, I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Oh, okay, never mind. She don't leave yet. Sorry. So anyway, when Vanessa gets there or whatever, she does also let his friend know that she's really grateful to have met Dom and she really likes him. So back to William, Rashandra asked Alexis and Patrice that she wants to dive into how their experience has been in this process and has there been any drama. So, I mean, I guess y'all already know Alexis and Patrice don't rock with each other like that because of the whole Will situation. So that was interesting. So Patrice says that she completely tries to stay away from drama. And then Alexis says, I'm not usually a confrontational person, but I don't shy away from it. Then the scene switches back to Dom and Mike. And Mike asks Vanessa, how many children do you have? So she replies saying, I have 2. And he says, would you be open to additions? And she says, yes, that's one thing I'm certain about. So, of course, Dom is just happy to hear that, child. You know how he want a whole tribe of kids, right? So back to William, Rashandra asked Patrice, are you okay with dating a younger guy? And she's like, yeah, because I prefer it. So they all start laughing about that. And then Alexis says that she's a supportive person. Then the scene goes back to Dom. And so, Vanessa lets him know that he could pursue her more if he's interested, and her arms are wide open. I mean, y'all, she was laying that talk down on Dom. She was just flirting mad hard with him. And it was just so cute to see. And it was funny because Dom was kind of like blushing in a way. But she let him know, honey, come pursue me, okay? My arms are wide open, yes. And so I'm just laughing at this. So basically she says all that and fine, and then she leaves, right? So, of course, Dom is asking, his friend, well, what do you think about Vanessa? So So Mike says that he likes the fact that Vanessa expressed her intentionality with him. And then the scene jumps back over to William. And so his friend Troy says that after Patrice and Alexis leave, he lets William know that he puts Maya and Patrice at the top of his list because he knows that they would help him with his comedy grind. Guys, excuse me. I don't know why I can't talk to that. Anyway, so in a new scene, we see LaRon and his friend King at a restaurant, and they meet up with Maya and Mika. And so Maya asks King, do you go out with LaRon? And he says, yeah. And they start talking about how fun they have, going out, things like that. So Mika asks LaRon, she's like, have you ever dated a woman with children? And he says, no. And she tells his friend that she has 2 kids. So she says that it scares her because he doesn't have any experience dating someone with kids because, she was like, my son is wild. So basically, how are you going to handle that? So when she said that, LaRon said, well, I'm going to just basically wrestle him to the ground. But basically he's talking about playing with him or something. And so I was just like, okay. So Mika says to him, she was like, I don't need a fun parent, but I want someone who treats my kids as their own. And how would you manage that? So King asked Mika, well, are you open to having kids and marriage? And she says that she doesn't want any more kids where she is currently in life. But in the future, she says, I don't know how I would feel. So I'm just like, anyway, I'm not even going there, y'all. So LaRon interjects and he says, if you're with the right person, you're going to have that man's baby. And Mika's just looking at him like. So Maya says that she wants marriage and children. And at this point, Maya's like, I gotta leave. They barely paid Maya really any attention. It was mostly like Mika talking from what we saw. So anyway, Maya leaves and LaRon and Mika start talking for a little bit, and then Mika leaves. So of course LaRon is asking, like, who are you leaning towards more? And King lets him know that he's leaning towards Maya more. So anyway, y'all, I don't know if it's days later or whatever. But anyway, next, the fellas arrive at the lounge again to meet up with Tommy because they have to make their decision about who they're going to eliminate this week. So they do give Tommy a rundown of what happened on their dates and what happened when they met their best friends. So also, too, they also let Tommy know who they're feeling and who they're not feeling. So Tommy lets them know that they have to take out 2 ladies and let one of them know that they're not ready to love. So in a new scene, we see Alexis meet up with LaRon. And she says, is there anything you want to clear up with me? Because I've heard that we have an issue. So y'all remember how LaRon told us in the beginning of the episode what Alexis did with sharing those screenshots with Will. So, of course, LaRon has a gripe with Alexis. And so somehow, I guess, Alexis found out that LaRon had a problem with her. So that's like why she confronted him. So he says, I know you heard the chatter from your boy. And she says, I don't really do chatter. Then the scene jumps over to Mika and Chaz. So Chaz set up, they're meeting at a restaurant. And I think Mika said she was excited to go on a date with him. I'm trying to think, were they talking to, I don't know. Y'all know Chaz be all over the place. Anyway, so Mika lets him know that the process has been very overwhelming for her, but she's glad that she's on a date with him. Then the scene jumps back over to LaRon and Alexis, and he tells her, of all things that have transpired, I'm sorry, let me rewind that. LaRon starts talking to Alexis because, the scene jumped back over to them. And he starts talking about, all the things that have transpired with that whole Will situation and how it's just been negative with her. Then we see Chaz talking to Mika, and Chaz says, the guys feel like, you need to let your walls down.
Hold on, wait, let me fix my wig and myself, because I'm so tired of everybody talking about hold on.
So Mika kind of starts getting defensive, and she says, well, my walls are up because I don't see a future with those guys. And Chaz is like, well, how do you know that? And then Mika says, because I don't want a future with them. So Chaz says, well, the men and I have decided that you are ready to love. And then the scene jumps back on over to LaRon telling Alexis that the guys have deliberated and have decided that she is not ready to love. So Mika stays and Alexis goes. And I think it's pretty much for the best. And that's the end of the episode. And scene. So yeah, y'all, that's the end of the episode. And I'm going to give this episode... I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8, y'all. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to my recap this week. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can be informed whenever I upload a new video. Also, too, comment below. Tell me your thoughts on this week's episode. Do you think Alexis should have gone home? What do you think about the connections that we've been seeing that we kind of didn't even know about? So I thought that was interesting. And I'm trying to think was there anything else very significant in this episode? I don't know, y'all. I can't think. But anyway, y'all, I just want to thank you for tuning in, listening to me running my mouth about this show. So yeah, y'all, thank you. But as always, before you go, I love to say a prayer over you. And so here it goes. So may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you his peace and protection. This is my prayer over your life. In Jesus' name, amen. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in my next recap. And yeah, bye.